Hi, so the finance minister has launched and presented the union budget for 2026, and in this video I'm going to tell you as a student of CA, CS, CMA, how it is going to impact you and what are the important amendments that have been brought through this. So the very first thing, your budget is actually called as annual financial statement, and it is presented under Article 112 of the Constitution. Now, this budget was presented on 1st February and it will apply from 1st April onwards when the new financial year starts. So, it's going to be applicable from 1st April 2026 onwards. Now, we look at what were the key changes. There have been changes for the MSME, a lot of benefits for the MSME sector. There have been some changes, massive changes in taxation and landmark changes in taxation as well, which is the biggest amendment, or I could say highlight of this budget. The old act which was there for over 50-70 years, that is was your Income Tax Act 1961, has been replaced and your Income Tax Act 2025 will be applicable. It will become applicable from 1st April 2026. So if you're giving your exams in November for chartered accountants and for company secretary students in December, so it will become applicable for the December attempt as well. Because anything above 6 months and beyond becomes applicable. So since it is applicable from your 1st April 2026, I believe ICSI will also launch, your institute will also launch a particular details about its applicability to your attempt. In my opinion, it will be applicable from December 2026, obviously since it is effective from 1st April 2026. Now, talking about the other important changes that are there, and something which is a bit controversial, and I would want your opinion as well. That controversial thing is your corporate Mitras. Now, corporate Mitra is basically the government has told all the three professional institutes, that is your CA, CS, CMA, all the three institutes, ICAI, ICSI, and ICMA, that you all launch short term courses, okay, and give certain professionals who will be able to help company secretaries, and they are called as para professionals. Okay, and in my opinion, okay, now I just want to know your opinion also about corporate Mitras in the comment section. So, what is happening? There will be para professionals. For CS, there will be para CS, para CAs, para CMAs who will do the work. They are not qualified CA, CS, CMA, but they will do some short term course launched by ICSI and will do some of the work of the professionals. Now, in my opinion, it is counterproductive. It is not going to be useful from the professional's point of view, for a simple reason, even the company's point of view, because there is nothing like a half CA or a half CS or a half CMA. If the institute really wants, and if the government really feels that there are less professionals in the market, and that is why the MSME and SME sector need to cater, find it expensive to go to CA, CS, CMA, or they are unavailable due to lack of these professionals being there in tier 2, tier 3 cities. So then they are saying that they will have these para services. But my opinion and my personal view is that they could think in a different way. Why not create more professionals? Like by increasing the passing percentage, you will have CA, CS, CMA, more number of students. So there will be more availability of professionals. So you don't have to go to para. Someone who has dedicated their entire career for, and they're doing this long term course, someone else will now find a shortcut in the short term course, who's not even committed to CACS CMA and now going to come in. So I feel personally, work with which a CACS CMA would be doing. Some of the work would go to these para services. I understand they can't do all the key work, but still, this could be done by CS interns, by CA interns, right? Those who have committed to this course. So practical, bringing in practical kind of examination is very good. Practical certification is very good. But while making, in my opinion, the government and the institute should ensure that only the registered students can do this additional and then only they can apply, not someone who is not committed to the course. So someone who is not there and then suddenly doing this part-time job and then coming in, so it will not only disrupt the particular ethos but also the work profile, because here I see a student studying so hard for so many years and then clearing and then being eligible. Even after clearing professionals, if you're doing articleship, 21 months you're doing this particular training as a article after studying so much. So they are the right persons to be para CS, right? Para CA, para CMA. So increase the passing percentage, increase the number of students who are doing CACS, and then give them this kind of profession. So that's my opinion. Let me know, and many are celebrating that the corporate Mitras is going to be good for professionals. How is it going to be good for professionals? You're creating more people who will do the work of professionals who are not even professionals. So it's like a chicken being excited and very celebrating because KFC is opened right next to it, right? So let me know in your comments, what do you feel? Second, good thing to know that the slab rates have been unchanged. It is exactly the same. No rates in the tax slab rates. There are some changes in STT which we will take later on. One major amendment has come in buyback. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. Buyback is when a company purchases its own securities. They pay some money to the shareholder, and now the question comes that how this will be taxed. I take the share from the shareholder and I pay them, let's say, 10,000 rupees. So earlier, when I'm giving 10,000 to this company, it was treated like a dividend, and how dividend used to be taxed, that is how it used to be taxed. Now they are saying that it will be treated as a capital gains. So I will look that basically you had bought this share for 5,000 rupees and now you're getting 7,000 rupees. So 2,000 is your capital gains, and on this 2,000 the capital gains tax will come. So instead of dividend, the buyback, instead of being treated as a dividend, it's going to be treated as a capital gains, and the gain that you're getting by selling your share to the company, that much will be taxed. Very simple. Okay, next, if we go to see also when it is going to be taxed in the hands of the shareholder. Okay, so the shareholder will have to pay the capital gains tax. If the promoter, now we're talking of if the sale is by the promoter, if the promoter is an individual, then the tax slab will be 30%. For example, I have founded a company, I have promoted a company, and now I'm selling the shares to the company and I'm exiting. So I'm an exiting promoter. So capital gains will be 30%. However, if a company has set up another company, if the company is a promoter, okay, two companies can form a new company. So promoters were the founding members were the company. So if a company is a promoter, then their transaction will be levied at 22% capital gains tax. Now, next was just a tax rate change. So government was always very strict with respect to share market, stock market, especially derivative trading. So they have made an increase in the securities transaction tax. They have increased it by 150%. Okay, so very simple. First only it was levied with 0.02%. Now they have increased it to 0.05%. Similarly, option premium also and taxes on the derivatives and options has been increased to some extent. Next, we looked at the sovereign gold bonds. Now, earlier, Indian loves to buy gold. So, whenever they used to buy gold, physical gold, that was fine. The government said that let's launch bonds, okay, which will be backed by the government. That don't worry, gold, government is saying you will get your gold. So, I buy these gold bonds. These bonds will be there for certain tenure and I get certain interest also. So here they have said that normally no tax will be levied if I'm holding that bond. So just remember, these are bonds backed by gold. Okay, so I'm buying a bond from the government and it is backed by gold. So here, so how much ever it is linked to the gold. So if the gold increases, I also get that much gain, etc. So these bonds, when I purchase and I hold it till maturity, then I am exempt from tax. However, if someone did not hold it till maturity, then tax will come. Okay, so that has been done, that taxation will be there for someone who is not holding it till the maturity. Okay, so that could be there. Now, certain tax holidays were there for foreign cloud companies. Now, cloud companies are there where data is stored on the cloud. So, like you have your Amazon Web Services, your cloud, Google Cloud. So, we need such kind of companies. So, government has given them a tax holiday, tax incentive for a longer period, that they are going to get a tax exemption 2047. So, we want them to come here and set up their cloud services. Then another important amendment is the MAT has been reduced, minimum alternate tax, that if a particular company, okay, or had zero profit, okay, and then they have to pay zero tax. So government says no, no, no. What we will do, we'll tell them to pay at least minimum tax. So minimum alternate tax was previously 15%. Now they have reduced it by 1%. Now it is 14%. They have to pay. Okay. Then next is for real estate developers. Now pay attention to this, income from house property. Normally they are saying that a developer, this is for builders like Loda or Oberoi builders or any other builder, Piramal, I don't know, reality, how many builders do you know, L&T, etc. Now these builders, when they make a building and their flat is ready and they've got a completion certificate, and it is unsold for 2 months, for 2 years, okay, for 2 years, then tax rent, deemed rent will start to come, that we will assume that it should have been sold by now, and then tax will start to come. Okay, so within 2 years, if I'm holding, no notional rent etc is assumed. Okay, so that is there, that 2 years window is there. If you got the completion certificate, some tax relief is given, but after 2 years, tax relief will not be given. Okay, then comes for the MSME. This budget is really good. They have created a a fund called as a MSME growth fund, and they have promised that, or you could say committed to give 10,000 crores to this fund. So very good. So huge support has been given, and even with the existing fund was there, they are going to infuse 2,000 crores more. Okay, so very good for the self reliant India, for micro, small, and medium enterprises. Micro enterprises, they're going to give 2,000 crores more top up has been done. Okay, then they have brought in something called as an orange economy. What is an orange economy? Now, as we know, in this digital age, how much ever you work hard, you will find that a digital influencer is earning much, much more. So having digital personalities, all of that is very important. So government has realized that, and they call it as orange economy, and they are saying that we will have in schools certain kind of animations, gaming, comics, all these other things which was never there. So orange economy is anything which is driven by content, creativity, or digital media. So in schools, colleges, and they will be have multiple units for, and labs, they call it as AVGC labs. Okay, so that is it for the budget. Let me know in the comments section what is your opinion, especially with respect to the corporate Mitras, where people are saying that it is good for professionals. I want to know your opinion. I've shared my opinion that the government, in consultation with all the professional bodies, should ensure that it doesn't demotivate a person who has taken this for long term, because someone from short term will come and enter into this course, bypass this. So that doesn't seem fair. It's only correct when you allow the existing students to get who have committed to this long term course to do articleship and create the by increasing the passing percentage, this shortage of professionals will also reduce. So that is my opinion. Thank you so much for listening till the end. Do join our WhatsApp group for all update with respect to CS. I will see you again in another video. Do share, like, comment the video as well. Thank you. Bye.